My name is Ashish and I'm a student coordinator of Seabird. Well, today we are organizing a debate in students which is about Australia versus Canada. So I want to give my words to Jashan. Jashan will take over from here. Please Jashan, come.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Seabird International. Today we have gathered here for a very huge debate, just like Ashish sir told you, and this is Team Australia and this is Team Canada, because students are often confused what to opt, Australia or Canada. So our teams are ready, they are looking very energetic, so let's get started.
Good afternoon guys, my name is Avrinder Singh and I am from Team Australia. So it's happy to say that Australia has far better opportunities in terms of education if compared to Canada, because Australia has more number of graduates, professionals of masters and PhDs. So if one will opt Australia for studies, their future will be secured.
But how can you say that Canada also has very good opportunities and there are lots of students who want to study in good colleges. There are colleges who can support them also. So I think so Canada is better than Australia.
No, it's the fact that Australia has the better study system. So it's among the top 5 nations which has the better study system. So it's far better than Canada.
I agree with Avrinder here that Australia has better courses. Plus it's also a fact that courses in Australia are more affordable as compared to Canada.
But we have colleges like University of British Columbia, McGill, that are one of the best colleges in research and development, and I think they provide scholarship and bursaries to a student who want to study over there.
There are many universities which are in top 100 ranking, and the number of institutes or universities which are in top 100 ranking are more as compared to Canada. And we cannot forget the weather conditions of Canada. Canada's weather is very rough.
But Canada's weather is rough, okay, but it's really good that Canada has lots of snow. I think so that it's better than Australia. Australia is a rather rough country, according to me.
No, actually the weather of Canada is very extreme. And if we talk about the Indian students, the climate of Australia is almost like India. So Indian students can easily survive because there is no such extremity of weather like winter or summer. So Indian students can easily survive there.
But if Canada is very cold in nature on seasons, then Canada also provides the facilities for for the survival of the students in winter.
And we have states like British Columbia that most of the Indian students can adapt over there, and the weather condition is same as India over there.
Very true.
No, the weather conditions in Canada are very harsh as compared to Australia, and it is easy for the students to adapt in Australia and compared to Canada, because we are habitual to live in warm climates and we have distinct summer season as well as winter season. We are not used to that snowfall or that extreme weather conditions. Plus, due to extreme weather conditions, the unemployment rate is very much higher in Canada as compared to Australia, because the weather is very harsh, so it's difficult for students to find jobs over there.
But according to me, there are lots of North Indians which are settled down in Canada. If we go from here to Canada, we can easily find a brotherhood over there. Like there are 3 languages, national languages, which are being spoken over there. The one is English, first one is English, second one is French, and third one is Punjabi. So I think so that Canada is a better place to go.
And the second point is that Canada, its south neighbor USA, also tied up with Canada, and it also provides USA. USA, being the most developed country, is partnered with Canada and provides Canadian students and immigrants more opportunities than Australia.
Yes, Vinod.
No doubt that USA has tied with Canada, but Australia has its own merits and benefits according to me, because it's an island and it has a very good coastline. Plus the benefits the students that are getting in Australia, I think they are far more than Canada.
No doubt your facts are very true, but the thing is, Canada is a very multicultural country and encourages multicultural most apart from many countries, and is also, unlike many countries, Canada also welcomes other multicultures into its own nation rather than Australia, because in Canada is considered the most peaceful country.
But if you are talking about that you can find discrimination or racism in Australia, then I want to say that in Canada there is also racism, in 2009 and in recent 2016. There were attacks on basically Punjabi people. So in Canada also, like in Vancouver, there are also racist attacks. So it's not that Australia is not a peaceful country. Australia is also a peaceful country. We cannot say that only Canada is a peaceful country.
Yes, very true.
It happens everywhere. You can't say that like that. India is also not the safest place to live, but we are still living in India. It's not like Canada is not safe. Canada is very safe. It's like somewhere around 20%. I don't say 20%, 10% of crime is over there. Yes, it's there in every place. You go to US or you go to Australia, you find it.
Yes,
according
It's
to
not like
there
that.
is also
In Australia, there was a guy who was killed in a bus. You heard about it. You had news about it. So
Yeah,
it's
that was very
somewhere
unfortunate
around, yeah.
accident, but racism is everywhere, and in Australia, in Canada also there were racist attacks, as my student Avrinder has pointed out. So racism is both in Australia and Canada, and we cannot say that there is no racism in Canada.
But
Yes,
there is another fact.
Canada is a peaceful country, but we cannot say that Australia is a dangerous country. You know, the basic homogenic rate is very low, and basic genocide rate is very low in Australia than Canada. It's the fact.
Did you know the fact that 25% of the international visited to Canada for studies, and as compared to last year's 12.5% increase have been seen in the immigration of students to countries like Canada.
And Canada is open from like ages now. Australia is just open, so we have a big faith on Canada, not on Australia. If we think about that.
If you look at other countries, unlike other countries, Canada doesn't resist immigration. Canada is a welcoming nation and welcomes all types of culture and has a low level of corruption and violent crimes.
Okay, if you are saying that Canada is welcoming the immigrants, I can say that Australia is a country where qualifications are not necessary. If a worker is a skilled, whether or not he is qualified, he will get PR. But in Canada, only your qualifications are the priority. Okay, so if you have to enter to Canada, you must have good qualifications. But Australia is welcoming skilled workers, if you are qualified or not. It will not bother.
Because Education Minister of Australia, Christopher, is also giving opportunity to students because he can come there and they can work also there. Because he wants that economy of Australia will be increased if they come there.
So, in addition to it, I can say that Canada is only offering the blue collar jobs, but the Australia is offering the white collar jobs for the students, which increases the living standard of the students.
Yes, very
And your partner told that so many languages are speaking in Australia. But I want to talk about that. You talk about Canada, but I want to talk about that Australia is also speaking in Australia. Is also speaking so many languages like Tasmania, Torres, and the island of Terrace. It is also official language of Australia, but official language of Australia is mainly Australian English.
But we can't link with that because we are not the Somalian people and we are not the people from that place. We are Punjabi, so I think so that Punjabi or somewhere where Punjabi or Hindi is being used is a better country for us to go, and we can find a neighborhood over there. It's very important that our North Indians should be there.
Sir,
Our Indians are maximum are there in Canada.
I would like to point out that if a person wants to speak Punjabi, then why doesn't he live in Punjab?
Yes,
Why
yes.
does he have to move abroad to seek more Punjabi people and to speak Punjabi over there?
And moreover, you are saying that Punjabi is the third language of Canada. But you know that no Canadian citizen, the native citizen, they don't know Punjabi. So what is the use of making the Punjabi third
I'm not
language?
saying that it's very important that I'll tell you how it's important that you should know how to survive over there. It's not like that, okay, we are living in Punjab, so we are going to the next Punjab. It's not like that. It's like, yes, we are going to a broad country where English and Punjabi is being spoken. So people are from here, if anyone goes to the Canada, it's not sure that he or she has a very good accent or in English or in any another language. So it's important that if you go over there, someone will be there to pick you up and you can go with them. So I think so that it is important for us.
The person is more comfortable as he finds a people like him. If you say I am going to Canada, I find people like me who have a nature and who belongs to a country that I am from. So I think it's better to go to Canada rather than Australia.
So
you can't
as
say
you
that.
said about the settling process, during the period of post-graduation work permit, you can apply for PR in Canada. Since the country is sparsely populated and there is a shortage of highly skilled workers, compared to Australia, it's very easy to get PR in Canada because Australian officials hold a background check that you are a fraudulent or not. So it's a very complicated process. So it takes too long. What's the very big issue in background check? Because background check is very much necessary. And if you are a very genuine worker, you are qualified, you have skills, there is no reason that the Australian government will not be providing you any kind of PR. Plus, I'd like to add on one more point that the wages in Australia, the
They are
student
pretty
who is
high.
earning in Australia, those wages are very high as compared to Canada.
Almost double to Canada. So
It really depends. Okay, you say the wages are high, but it depends on how many expenditure are you doing. The things are also expensive over there. It's not like that. Okay, we are earning this much and we are not spending anything. So the expenditures are also very high. So you can't say that wages are over there are very high and expenditures are not high. So
if wages will be high, then you can manage your expenditures. But if you are earning just $8 per hour, then you cannot spend your whole money on one thing. But if your salary is pretty much high, then you can manage your expenditures. But it's not a big deal.
But there is another fact that Canadian government also spends 10 times more of its funds on healthcare, personal healthcare, on
very important.
10 times more its expenses on their personal healthcare than military. And it provides you also scholarship, because in life mainly there are two things which cost you: the education and your health. And if the government is providing you with free healthcare and free education, then I think wages should not be considered that important if they are giving you low wages.
Even the low accommodation cost attracts several immigrants from Asia and other countries to move on to Canada. And if the salaries are, and if you're managed and your job is managed, you can easily cope up with the accommodation and your expenditure.
If you go abroad and you can't find a place to stay or to live, it's really bad thing to do. But if you go there and you only want roti, kapda and makan, I think so these three things are very important for every human being. So I think so that if it is cheaper in Canada, then it's good to go over there rather than going to Australia.
As Canada is a big country and low cost, everyone can survive there. Like all this store stuff are really cheaper over there, so everyone can stay there very easily. They don't need to need any financial help from their parents and from anywhere else.
Yes,
As compared to
Canada
Australia.
is known perfect to raise your family because in view of its free education, healthcare, affordable housing facilities, multicultural and tolerant communities. I would like to add one more point that you are talking about scholarships. Australia is not much far behind in scholarships. Australia is providing a lot of scholarships each year. Plus, there is a special scholarship for Asian girls which Australia is providing, so that the girls, for the women empowerment, so the girls can get quality education in Australia. Plus OET, we cannot forget OET, which the Australia is providing. It is occupational English test.
Yes.
Australia welcoming many nurses, like OET stands for Occupational English Test. They are welcoming 12 professions in their country, like doctors, dentists, pharmacists, as well as nurses. There are many opportunities for nurses in the Australia than Canada. We have to clear OET only. In Canada, we have to clear NACLAS as well as IELTS for 7 each.
Yeah, that's a very good thing. For going to Canada, a simple nurse has to clear 2 exams. But in Australia, there is only one, that is occupational English test. So that's why Australia is favoring and it's promoting more medical professions.
And moreover, we have to wait for 2 years in admission for admission in the medical colleges. But in Australia, we have no waiting list, and we can easily take admission in any colleges.
And on this point of view with my partner, that is that so many opportunity in Australia, like hotel management. If you talk about the hotel management, in Canada is not providing so many opportunity to students, because there are not more stores of the according to hotel management which are not joined with this industry. And now I want to talk about the Australia. There are so many opportunity because Canada, because in Australia KFC, Domino's, they are also providing so many job opportunity to students. Canada is also providing, but wages is low rather than Canada. Sorry, just
I would like to add on from my own experience. I was looking for a university for providing my suitable course. I had done graduation in electronics. So when I was looking courses in Canada, there was not even a single college that provided the core electronics course in one of its universities and colleges. Whereas in Australia, you have a wide variety of courses, and electronics, for example, was there in Australia as compared to Canada. So you can see that the Australia, it offers more variety of courses as compared to Canada.
And apart from education, we also look for some adventure. So Australia is very good for adventurous persons. Like there is a Great Barrier Reef for underwater explorers, and also Sydney Opera House. And Australia has more tourist attractions than Canada. So apart from studies, students can easily go to the tourist places in Australia, because Australia has far more better tourist attractions.
You can say that because Canada is also has a very good range in adventure sports, and there are lots of places we can go, and US is on a border, so we can easily cross the border and easily go to US.
And the tourist attraction is Niagara Falls, which is very famous for
Very
its.
famous.
But Australia is also Alice Spring is also most favorite.
Niagara Falls is the only famous attraction in Canada, but in Australia there are so many.
Because Australia is basically an island, it is surrounded by water on all sides. So
Most
you
of the
have
cities are located
beaches.
on the coastline, so it's very beautiful looking scenes, like very scenic coastline among the world, among the top countries of the world.
Plus, if you are planning to visit Canada, you have to plan your months also.
Yes.
That what the season is there, snowfall is there, sometimes snow can be dangerous also. So you have to check all these points, but in Australia there's no scene of that.
Yeah, you can go in any season.
We can adapt ourselves in their environment. In Canada, some students suffer from many diseases because there is a high snowfall.
Yeah,
That's why
very
we can
high.
easily adapt in Australia because weather is very similar in like.
But like I said before, that Canada spends 10 times more of its funds than it from its military. 10 times spends more on the healthcare, and if you look at the stats, a recent research says that in next 15 years, in nearly next 15 years, the half of the adult population would be foreign born, and at least one foreign parent, which means that it has allowed many of the immigrants to reside there, and many have had applied for PR, and they also got the PR. And you can't deny the stats that like I would like to tell you again that half of the adult population would be foreign born, and at least one foreign parent.
But we are not talking about the foreign parents or the foreign children who are getting to born there. We are talking about the students who are willing to go to Canada or Australia for their future prospects.
Ma'am, I'm talking about the students. Students residing there would go for PR, they would apply for PR for the next living years because they would like to survive and would like to reside there. And if they will reside there, they will also marry someone there and will have a child. And I'm talking about those foreign children.
But
And if
marrying the Canadian nations
If
would
we-
also hamper our culture, our Indian culture, which we are spreading in Australia or Canada.
If we are living in remote places like Manitoba or somewhere like in Nova Scotia, we can get PR very easily on a very soon basis. So it is also good because if we survive over there for 1 or 2 years, we can get PR very easily. So
But there is no work, sir. There is no work.
In Nova Scotia,
You can get PR easily, but you can't survive.
you can work for 6 months and after that you can rest in your places, I think so,
Like-
because it's been snowing. But yes, life is over there because I think so that you earn a lot of money in 6 months and then you can save
I have
them and you
seen-
can survive on
I
that.
have seen many of the students or my friends, those are moving to smaller cities in Canada where it snows for almost 6 months in order to get PR. So you can see that students have to undergo these kind of things in order to get a PR. So they move to smaller cities where the unemployment is very high, the works are very less, the jobs, there are no jobs, the wages are very less, but only to get a PR. Their greed for PR is very much, so they decide to move to that.
Because we all want to settle down. If we are
Like-
going over there and spending so much of money, then I think so that we should all settle down in somewhere in Canada or in Australia.
Like I earlier told you that in Australia PR is also very easy to get PR because they need only skilled workers regardless of your qualification.
But according to me, Australia is getting strict day by day, so you never know.
And
As terrorism is on the rise, it's good that a country is being strict because we cannot deny the terrorist attacks that happened in London few months ago. So a country, yes, it has to be strict so that they should check that which kinds of person.
Terrorism is in everywhere now. In
Yeah.
France also it's
And
happened,
also-
but it's not like that. France is strict now
And
because
also, if your profile is very good and your profile is your image and your profile is good, then it will not bother that how much limitations are there, how much restrictions are there for PR. If your profile is good, then you can easily get the PR.
Moreover, there
But
is
through
a
OET
easy
we can-
process, easy immigration process for Australia. The band requirement and other requirements are much lesser than the Canada.
Recently,
But
I have
through OET we can also get PR in Australia only in 1 year. We have to clear OET and after 1 year we can also get a PR in Australia.
Recently, I have read the newspaper, and it was written in the newspaper that our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, has gone to the Australian Prime Minister to talk him about the work permits. He's not have visited the Canadian Prime Minister to tell the Trudeau like you have to give the students the work permits. Why is going to the Australian Prime Minister?
So
because
Because in
Australia is
Canada
getting
there's
strict
lot
day
of
by day. That
Punjabis
is
who are giving birth to the
But
Punjabis.
it's not.
So it is good now. It is good that Narendra Modi has yes, they are making their relations very good. So that's why he visited
It's
there.
not only going for education system.
But
Yes.
he's only in the newspaper. It was clearly mentioned that he has gone there for the work permits.
Yes, you
Yes.
have told our point. You have told our point. It's easy for the students nowadays.
Yeah, it will
If
be
they will
easy
go to
because
Australia-
the Prime Minister is very concerned
Yes.
that more and more students are moving to Australia. So he
Yes.
is concerned about
Okay,
students.
okay everyone, okay. End of the debate. It was a very nice time spending with you. I had a very good knowledge about Australia and Canada. Thank you for this lovely debate we had. So a round of applause for all of you.
Yeah, well done.
Well done, students. I know now